The Senate will come to order. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Senators Baisley, Bridges, Senator Bridges,
Excused.
Buckner, Cutter, Danielson,
Excused. Oh, she's not excused. She's right here.
Exum, Fields, Senator Fields,
Excused.
Fenberg,
Excused.
Gardner, Janal, Gonzalez, Hanson, Henriksen, Senator Henriksen,
Excused.
Huckes Lewis, Kirkmeyer, Kolker, Liston, Lundin, Marchman, Michelson Janae, Malika, Pelton B. Pelton R. Priola, Rich, Roberts, Rodriguez, Simpson, Smallwood, Sullivan, Van Winkle, Will, Winter, Senator Winter,
Excused.
Zenzinger. Should go back or call the president? I've already called Fenberg. No, it's here. Senator Fenberg. Mr. President.
Let's do this. The morning roll call is 31 present, 0 absent, 4 excused. We have a quorum. Senator Pelton R., would you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Would everyone please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Cool.
Approval of the journal. Senator Cutter. Senator Cutter.
I move that the Senate Journal of February 7th, 2024 be approved as corrected by the Secretary.
You have heard the motion. All those in favor say aye.
Yay!
Opposed, no? The ayes have it. That motion is adopted. Will the clerk please add Senator Fields to the roll?
Out of order for Lunar New Year. No. We changed it. I'm just moving to proceed out of order.
Members, we have with us on the floor the one and only former Senator Angela Williams. Please welcome her back to the chamber. Good to see you, Senator Williams. Thanks for visiting. Majority Leader Rodriguez.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move the Senate proceed out of order for moments of personal privilege.
The motion is to proceed out of order for moments of personal privilege. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no? The aye has it, and the motion is adopted. We will now proceed out of order. Senator Gonzalez.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good morning, everybody. I request a moment of personal privilege.
Granted.
Thank you, Mr. President. Colleagues, I am so honored to be here this morning with you all as we are able this year to celebrate for the very first time Lunar New Year as an observed state holiday. I am so grateful, I am so grateful for the partnership that we were able to achieve by working in a bipartisan manner alongside Representative Soper, alongside then Representative Gonzalez Gutierrez, now Council Member Gonzalez Gutierrez, in order to last year celebrate the many contributions of Colorado's Asian American and Asian immigrant community. Colleagues, we are joined this morning by a number of guests and community leaders, and there are so many folks who do incredible and powerful work in my district and across this state. And so I am just so honored to recognize Director General of the Taipei Economic and Cultural Office, Mr. Bill Huang. And so please stand and be recognized, along with members of his team, Natalia Wang and Elisa Lin. I am also just incredibly honored to acknowledge Harry Buddha-Siddhartha from the Aurora Mental Health and Recovery organization, formerly the Asian Pacific Development Center. They've recently merged because they understand and recognize the ways in which mental health and overall health and well-being are so critically important to all of our communities. Colleagues, this year, the Year of the Dragon is the Year of the Dragon, and it's special in the Chinese zodiac as it repeats every 12 years. The dragon symbolizes power, good fortune, strength, and is associated with traits such as intelligence, ambition, and charisma. I just want to acknowledge that this weekend in my community, the Far East Center, y'all may know that, Alameda and Federal, we're going to be hosting a Lunar New Year celebration to welcome the Year of the Dragon on the 10th and the 11th from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. There will be lion and dragon dances, cultural performances, ice carving, and much, much more. I name this because it's an incredible opportunity for folks to come together and celebrate in a really beautiful and powerful way. And so with that, and with your indulgence, colleagues, I would like to read this tribute that we will be offering here in the state of Colorado. The Senate and House of Representatives convened in the second session of the 74th General Assembly hereby extends heartiest congratulations and commendation to Colorado's Asian community and community leaders. The members of the Colorado Senate and House proudly extend our deepest appreciation to Colorado's Asian community and community leaders as we honor and recognize Lunar New Year, which this year begins on February 10th and ends on February 28th. Lunar New Year is the largest holiday of the year for many Asian communities, with celebrations in Colorado and throughout the globe. Its significance is deeply rooted in history and remains the most important cultural celebration for generations of families to gather, reunite, and celebrate. Lunar New Year celebrations offer us the opportunity to honor and recognize Asian Americans and their leaders for contributions to both the history and the future of Colorado. Honoring our state's varied cultures, traditions, and religions make us a stronger and more vibrant state. We invite all to learn about this significant celebration and join in the celebrations for the upcoming Lunar New Year as we usher in the Year of the Dragon. On request of Senator Julie Gonzalez and Representative Matt Soper, given this 8th day of February 2024, State Capitol, Denver, signed by President Steve Fenberg and Speaker of the House, Julie McCluskey. Colleagues, please join me in welcoming our guests. Thank you, Mr. President.
To our guests, thank you so much for visiting with us today and allowing us to be a small part of the celebrations. The Senate will now stand in a brief recess to greet our guests. The Senate will come back to order. Senate Services.
February 8th, 2024. Correctly printed Senate Bills 130, 131, 132, 133, 134, 135, 136, 137, 138, 139, 140, 141, 142, 143, 144, 145, 146, 147, 148, 149, 150, 151, 152, and 153. Correctly engrossed Senate Bill 45. Correctly revised House Bill 1146.
Will the clerk please add Senator Hendrickson to the roll? Committee reports.
February 7th, 2024, Committee on Transportation and Energy. After consideration on the merits, the committee recommends the following: Senate Bill 79 be amended as follows, and as so amended be referred to the Committee of the Whole with favorable recommendation. Committee on Judiciary. After consideration on the merits, the committee recommends the following: Senate Concurrent Resolution 1 be referred to the Committee of the Whole with favorable recommendation. After consideration on the merits, the committee recommends the following: Senate Bill 63 be referred to the Committee of the Whole with favorable recommendation, and with a recommendation that it be placed on the consent calendar. After consideration on the merits, the committee recommends the following: Senate Bill 12 be postponed indefinitely. After consideration on the merits, the committee recommends the following: Senate Bill 64 be amended as follows, and as so amended be referred to the Committee on Appropriations with favorable recommendation. Committee on Health and Human Services. After consideration on the merits, the committee recommends the following: Senate Bill 57 be amended as follows, and as so amended be referred to the Committee on Appropriations with favorable recommendation. After consideration on the merits, the committee recommends the following: Senate Bill 87 be referred to the Committee of the Whole with favorable recommendation. After consideration on the merits, the committee recommends the following: Senate Bill 55 be amended as follows, and as so amended be referred to the Committee on Appropriations with favorable recommendation. Committee on Education. After consideration on the merits, the committee recommends the following: Senate Bill 69 be amended as follows, and as so amended be referred to the Committee on Appropriations with favorable recommendation.
Third reading of bills. Final passage. Will the clerk please read the title to House Bill 1146?
House Bill 1146, Representatives Byrd and Taggart, Senators Bridges and Zunziger, concerning authorizing the Department of Healthcare Policy and Financing to suspend a provider's enrollment of the providers participating in an organized fraud scheme.
Senator Zenzinger.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move House Bill 1146 on third reading and ask for your aye vote.
Is there any discussion? Senator Gardner.
Thank you, Mr. President. This bill has moved so quickly and properly so that I wanted to take just a brief moment, not 20 minutes, to say why it has moved so quickly. There has arisen an issue, and it has been covered in the press, concerning the ability of HCPF to, in the face of credible evidence of fraud on behalf of or by a contractor, to suspend that contractor. An authority that does not exist now. Now, I will tell you, in federal procurement and in public contracting systems, there is generally the ability to immediately suspend a contractor when there is credible evidence of fraud. HCPF has asked for this. There is a particular situation, I won't go into the details of that, but they have many millions of dollars of claims that, while they possess the ability to deny an individual claim, they do not have the ability to suspend the contractor. Now, it is important that you understand that any contractor who is summarily suspended has a due process right to appeal to the court and say, you've got this wrong. And there will be a due process proceeding for that. Now, that's important that I note publicly as well, because we do not disregard the due process rights of contractors who do business with our state. And so this gives them an important tool. It is important that we do it quickly. I appreciate the sponsors bringing it, and I urge an aye vote.
Senator Zenzinger.
Thank you, Mr. President, and I concur with the good comments from my colleague from Colorado Springs. This issue was brought up during the interim back in December when the department became aware of an organized fraud scheme to defraud the department of very valuable Medicaid dollars. They brought it forward to the Joint Budget Committee. We went ahead and approved of an emergency supplemental so that we could address this problem. You will see that in a bill when we do supplementals. But this bill related is going to be making some very important policy changes so that they can address the problem immediately, so that we are protecting our Medicaid patients and we're also protecting our Medicaid system from this type of organized crime. So again, thank you very much for indulging our speedy pace in which we are trying to pass this bill, and I encourage an aye vote.
Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, the motion is the passage of House Bill 1146. Are there any no votes? With a vote of 33 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent, 2 excused, House Bill 1146 is passed. Co-sponsors, Senators Baisley, Will, Gardner, Minority Leader Lundin, Smallwood, Liston, Pelton R., Hanson, Van Winkle, Mullica, Rich, Exum, Coleman, Gonzalez, Majority Leader Rodriguez, Kolker, Janal, Marchman, Fields, Priola, Buckner, Henriksen, Jaquez Lewis, Cutter, Sullivan, please add the president. General order, second reading of bills. Consent calendar. Senator Zenzinger.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that the Senate resolve itself into the Committee of the Whole for consideration of general order, second reading of bills consent calendar.
You have heard the motion. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. The motion is adopted and the Senate will resolve itself into the Committee of the Whole for the consideration of the general order, second reading of bills consent calendar. And Senator Zenzinger will take the chair.
The committee will come to order and the court rule is relaxed. Will the clerk please read the title of all the bills on general order, second reading of bills consent calendar?
House Bill 1090, Representatives Satone and Rick, Senators Exum and Fields, concerning release of identifying information in criminal justice records. Did I say Senate Bill? Senate Bill 71, Senators Finberg and Rich, Representatives Amable and Soper, considering including seasonal outdoor adventure day camp programs in the definition of children's resident camps.
Majority Leader Rodriguez.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move for the adoption of all the bills on the consent calendar, which includes House Bill 1090 and Senate Bill 71, and there are no committee reports.
Is there any discussion on any of the bills on consent calendar? The motion before the body is the adoption of all the bills on the general order, second reading of bills consent calendar. All of those in favor say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it, and the bills are adopted. Majority Leader Rodriguez.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move the committee rise and report.
The motion is for the committee to rise and report. All those in favor say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it, and the motion is adopted. The committee will rise and report.
The Senate will come to order. Senator Zenzinger.
Thank you, Mr. President. The committee has met and had a number of bills under consideration. Will the clerk please read the report?
February 8, 2024, Mr. President, your Committee of the Whole begs leave to report it has had under consideration the following attached bills, being the second reading thereof, and makes the following recommendations thereon. Senate Bill 71 passed on second reading and ordered engrossed and placed on the calendar for third reading and final passage. House Bill 1090 passed on second reading and ordered revised and placed on the calendar for third reading and final passage.
Senator Zenzinger.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move the report.
The motion is the adoption of the Committee of the Whole report. Are there any no votes? With a vote of 33 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent, to excuse the Committee of the Whole report is adopted. Senate Bill 71 passed on second reading and ordered engrossed and placed on the calendar for third reading and final passage. House Bill 1090 passed on second reading and ordered revised and placed on the calendar for third reading and final passage. General order, second reading of bill. Senator Zenzinger.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that the Senate resolve itself into the Committee of the Whole for consideration of general orders, second reading of bills.
You have heard the motion. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. The motion is adopted. The Senate will resolve itself into the Committee of the Whole for the consideration of the general order, second reading of bills, and Senator Zenzinger will take the chair.
The committee will come to order and the court rule is relaxed. Will the clerk please read the title to Senate Bill 006? Excuse me, Majority Leader Rodriguez.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move that Senate Bill 6 be laid over till Wednesday, February 14th, 2024.
You've heard the motion. Is there any objection? Seeing none, Senate Bill 006 will be laid over until February 14th. Will the clerk please read the title to House Bill 1020?
House Bill 1020, Representatives Soper and Mabry, Senators Gardner and Hansen, concerning the enactment of the Colorado Revised Statutes 2023 as the positive and statutory law of the state of Colorado.
Senator Hansen.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. I move House Bill 1020 on second reading.
To the bill. Senator Gardner.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Members, this is our annual positive reenactment of the Colorado Revised Statutes. Now, this morning, all over Colorado at courthouses, lawyers are standing up and citing this as the law of the state of Colorado, but they're mistaken. This is not the law of the state of Colorado, this 2023 volume. It's only prima facie evidence of the law of the state of Colorado. That's a distinction only lawyers could love. What we do every year is we enact all of those volumes back there with 2023 on them and 2024 next year when I'm not here. As the positive law of Colorado. And what that really does is brings all of the session laws from last year into these volumes and says, this is it. There's also, and I'm sure you read all of these, there are also revisers' changes that are punctuations and misnumberings and non-substantive things that they pick up, and there are people constantly doing that. So we ask for an aye vote and appreciate your understanding of what we actually do every year.
Senator Hansen.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And the good senator from Colorado Springs is exactly right. This is the We Mean It bill. We're not joking around. All the work we did last year, we're going to enact it today. I have been very pleased to continue my legal education on the Committee for Legal Services. I'm very glad to be a student in that class this year, but also pleased to be a part of this effort to make sure we lock in all the great work that we did last year. So yet another Hansen and Gardner bill here in front of you in the State Senate. I urge your support of 1020.
Senator Gardner.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And yes, another Hansen-Gardner bill. And on behalf of my co-prime sponsor and myself, I do want to extend our appreciation to our staff in the Office of Legislative Legal Services, who really do put all this together, take all of our work, and then constantly go through this and find changes that need to be made that are non-substantive, and there are numberings and paragraph headings and 1,000, literally 1,000 kinds of little changes that happen, and we pick them up as they go. Thank you so much to our staff for doing that for the people of Colorado.
Hear, hear to the staff. Any other discussion? Seeing none, the motion before the body is the adoption of House Bill 1020. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed, nay. The ayes have it, and the bill is adopted. Majority Leader Rodriguez.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move the committee rise and report.
The motion before the body is to rise and report. All those in favor say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it, and the committee will rise and report.
The Senate will come to order. Senator Zenzinger.
Thank you, Mr. President. The committee has met and had one bill under consideration. Will the clerk please read the report?
February 8, 2024, Mr. President, your Committee of the Whole begs leave to report it has had under consideration the following attached bills, being the second reading thereof, and makes the following recommendation thereon. House Bill 1020 passed on second reading and ordered revised and placed on the calendar for third reading and final passage. Senate Bill 6 laid over until February 14, 2024, and retaining its place on the calendar.
Senator Zenzinger.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for the adoption of the report.
The motion is the adoption of the Committee of the Whole report. Are there any no votes? With a vote of 33 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent, 2 excused, the Committee of the Whole report is adopted. House Bill 1020 passed on second reading and order revised and placed on the calendar for third reading and final passage. Senate Bill 6 laid over until 214 and retaining its place on the calendar. Committee reports.
February 7, 2024, Mr. President, the Committee on Education has had under consideration and has had a hearing on the following appointments and recommends that the appointments be placed on the consent calendar and confirmed. Members of the Board of Trustees for Western State Colorado University, effective January 1, 2024, for terms expiring December 31, 2027. Millie Hamner of Dillon, Colorado, reappointed. Kristen Blessman of Denver, Colorado, reappointed.
Announcements. Members, even though he was tardy today, we're going to give him a pass. But it is Senator Henrikson's birthday. So once again, you do have to wear the hat, actually. It's a rule. We need the Senate choir to assemble.
Hendrickson.
Before the choir performs, members, I do want to mention that we have another esteemed former elected official here in the body with us. Former Representative Max Tyler, thank you for joining the Senate, the upper chamber.
Oh, that's too high.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Senator Henrikson. Happy birthday to you. May the dear Lord bless you, shower graces on you. May the dear Lord bless you, Senator Henrikson. May the dear Lord bless you.
Senator Liston.
That's all right. Thank you, Mr. President. Members, I want to give you an announcement, give you an invitation this afternoon around 5:30 to 7:30. After you've put in a long, hard day of work, you are invited to join the Colorado Landlord Legislative Coalition down at the University Club, which is just 2 blocks north of us, to meet the people who run various residential properties and apartments, and they would love to meet you today at 5:30 to 7:30 up at the University Club. You're invited for a bit of food and beverage, so please come up and meet them today at the University Club. Thank you very much. You're all invited. Please attend.
Senator Marchman.
Thank you, Mr. President. Our average age in the chamber today has gone down as we welcome Colorado State University Associated Students Group for their day at the Capitol. This is our CSU student government. We just want to say thank you so much for being here. You are our future, so thanks for being here today.
Senator Hawkins Lewis.
Thank you, Mr. President. We also have some future leaders here today with us over in this corner. We have gathered Leadership Longmont, Leadership Fort Collins, and Leadership Loveland are here and have been meeting with legislators. So if they send you in a card or grab you, they want to understand the best traits and qualities in leadership. Thank you so much for being here.
Senator Gardner.
Thank you, Mr. President. This morning, I'm pleased to have as my guest on the floor a member of the Board of Education for Cheyenne Mountain School District 12, Michael Gridge.
Senator Zenzinger.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have an announcement regarding a reception this evening. Please join the Tourism Industry Association of Colorado tonight from 5 to 7 p.m. This legislative reception will take place at the Sheridan Denver Downtown Hotel, and it will be a great event where you can speak with our tourism industry, our OEDA office, and a number of other key individuals that are doing a good job of promoting our state. Thank you.
Senator Fields.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good morning, colleagues. The Senate Health and Human Services Committee will meet at 1:30 in SCR 357. We have 2 bills and 1 appointment for consideration. Thank you.
Senator Exum.
Thank you, Mr. President. Senate Local Government and Housing, we're meeting upon adjournment to hear 1 bill, Senate Bill 22, and we will start 15 minutes after upon adjournment. Thank you.
Senator Pelton.
Thank you, Mr. President. Tomorrow morning, the Colorado Association of Naturopathic Doctors will have breakfast and get to meet and talk with some of them about the wonderful work they do over outside the old Supreme Court. Thank you.
Senator Danielson.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just wanted to make a quick announcement that the Senate Business, Labor, and Technology Committee will be meeting on adjournment in the old Supreme Court chambers, and we're going to hear 1 bill, Senate Bill 66, and give us about, 10, 15 minutes to get over there. Thanks.
Senator Coleman.
Thank you, Mr. President. Members, Senate State Veteran Military Affairs Committee will be meeting at 1:30 in the old Supreme Court for Senate Bill 60 and 98. We'll see you there.
Senator Colker.
Thank you, Mr. President. Senate Finance Committee will be meeting 15 minutes upon adjournment. Today, hearing bills, House Bill 1179, Senate Bill 008, Senate Bill 053 will be laying over for action only, Senate Bills 23 and 24.
Senator Colker.
I request a moment of personal privilege.
Granted.
Thank you, Mr. President. Members, this week is School Counselor Week. To honor our school counselors in our middle schools, our high schools, our elementary schools all over the state. And I just want to bring your attention to that. I know that school board members from around the state are visiting the Capitol today. And just want to make this announcement to honor those overworked school counselors and school counselors who have large caseloads, school counselors that deal with more than what you think. School counselors aren't just career planners. School counselors sit and talk with their students, help them navigate the issues of the day. They help them with their personal problems. They help them with relationships. They help them figure out and how to deal with the social and emotional issues that they are facing in their schools. My wife is a school counselor in a middle school with a caseload of over 300 kids. She keeps telling me over and over again, make sure people understand that we are not called guidance counselors, we are school counselors. We are there for these children. And I read previous years, a typical day in the life of a school counselor. And I'll give you some examples of what has happened this year with school counselors. School counselors are helping kids navigate the death of a classmate who was killed on his way to school. They're helping with classmates with suicide ideation. They're helping with students who are victims of violence, domestic violence. Students who are navigating a second language and trying to make it in this country. Those are important issues that we don't always think about when it comes to education and what kids are facing. And so I want to acknowledge that today and acknowledge all the hard work our school counselors do in this week that we acknowledge school counselors across the nation. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Kolker. Mr. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that the Senate recess until 12 p.m. today. Colleagues, we will only be reading bills across the desk, so you do not need to return.
You have heard the motion. All those in favor say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The Senate will recess until 12 noon today.